Today I'm going to show you a complete shoulder warm-up that's really going to help you prevent injury in the gym. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's Blake Bowman here with Gorilla Zen Fitness, and in today's video I'm going to be talking all about shoulder warm-ups, okay? More specifically, I'm going to show you a detailed sequence to follow to warm up your shoulders, okay? So this is a video for those of you that have shoulder issues, rotator cuff problems, impingement syndrome, whatever it might be, or somebody that's looking to prevent those things. Follow this warm-up sequence, and it's really going to help you out before you do any kind of extensive exercises that use your shoulders, heavy bench press, shoulder press, so on and so forth. All of these warm-up exercises that I'm going to show you in just a second really focus on three things, and these three things are what's responsible for making these so effective in terms of preventing injury. Okay, the first thing that we really focus on is articulation of the shoulder joint, which means just moving it, right? Rotating it, flexing the shoulder, extending the shoulder, getting it to move as much as we can to warm up the connective tissues in there. Okay, the second thing that these exercises focus on is joint centration and alignment. Okay, that you don't really need to know what that means. Basically, these exercises will help to better center your arm bone, your humerus, within the joint socket so that the joint is aligned better prior to moving it, okay? That's really gonna help you out a lot. And the third thing that these exercises focus on is activating as much musculature around the joint capsule as we can. So firing all the delts, firing the rotator cuff muscles, getting everything in this whole area nice and warmed up, getting blood flow going to it. That's why this is such an effective warm-up sequence. Like I said, use this before doing any kind of exercises that really are going to stress the shoulder a lot. So if you're somebody that's like a bodybuilder or somebody that's trying to put on muscle mass and you're doing heavy bench press, dips, things like that, things that typically can put a lot of stress on the shoulder, do this beforehand. You can add this to your normal warm-up. This will just help make sure that your shoulders are ready to go. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mobilize our thoracic spines with a foam roller. Okay, this is basically we're going to get the upper back to bend. Okay. You need to have mobility in your thoracic spine, your upper back, in order for your shoulders to articulate or move properly. So this is why we're starting with this. Basically, put a foam roller on your upper back. Okay, keep your core kind of tight and kind of posteriorly tuck the pelvis. Pull it up like this. Cup your ears with your hands, and then relax and let your upper back bend across the roller, using the roller like a fulcrum just to get the spine to bend at the location of the foam roller, okay? And then move up like an inch after you've done about 10 reps. Do some more reps here, okay? You can do this up to 50 times, really focusing on the upper back. This is not a stretch that you're holding like this, okay? This is not a static stretch. You're basically just trying to produce as much movement in the thoracic spine as possible. That's why you want to do this for a high amount of reps, okay? Make sure you're not extending from the lower back or bending from the lower back. You want to be arching mostly from the upper back, like I said, using the foam roller as a fulcrum. All right, having done that, now we're going to do a simple exercise that basically makes us draw our elbows together, which externally rotates our shoulders. Most of the time people are stuck in internal rotation. This helps you externally rotate and gives you a little bit of extra mobility with regards to your capacity to externally rotate the arm. Okay, so to do this, you cup your ears again, and then you simply just touch your elbows together like this. Okay, come all the way out, squeeze your scapula, your shoulder blades together, and then come all the way together like this. Okay, this is basically how it's done. You want to do about 20 repetitions of that. You might notice that you get really sticky right when you're trying to touch your elbows together, okay? And that's because you're probably missing external rotation in your shoulders. So if you want to do this for extra reps, kind of like the thoracic spine mobilization, you can go ahead and do that. All right, now we're just going to stick our arms out like this. We're going to turn our thumbs so that they're pointing behind us, and then we're going to come in like this, okay? We're going to rotate as much as we can, and then back in, keeping your abs tight here, chest lifted, abs really, really tight. We're externally rotating and internally rotating the arm bone, the humerus. When we do this, we're activating the rotator cuff by doing so. Do about 20 or so of those. Now we're going to start hitting those delts. What I want you to do is get in good posture, kind of roll your shoulders back. You don't have to do this kneeling, by the way. It's just easier for me to record this way. You can do it standing. Pull your wrists up like this, dorsiflex the wrists. Start making these tiny little circles with your arms and continue all the way up overhead, keeping the wrists dorsiflex, which means pulled up. and then you're going to come all the way back down like this, okay? You're going to go up and down, making those tiny little circles, really trying to like flex your delts while you're doing it. You're going to do that about 15 times. Now we're going to do what I call serratus anterior push-ups, okay? Serratus anterior push-ups. This activates a muscle that stabilizes the shoulder blade called the serratus anterior. Most of the time it's pretty weak and underactive in people. So the way I want you to do this is to get in a neutral spinal position, hands and knees. You're kneeling like this. What you're going to do is you're going to relax your shoulder blades, and then you're going to press through as hard as you can. It's okay to round the upper back a little bit here, okay? I really just want you to focus on pressing through like this, protracting the shoulder blades, moving them away from each other as hard as you can. Big exhale when you do that. Squeeze the abs too. Okay, you're pushing through as hard as you can, and you're focusing on this area in here, okay? Those are called serratus anterior push-ups. Do about 15 to 20 of those. Okay, so for some of these next exercises, you're gonna need a resistance band. This is called the band pull apart. Basically, grab the band, shoulder width apart, put it through the middle of your hand like this so that your thumbs are pointing up. Again, you don't have to be kneeling for this. It's just easier for me to record. You can do this standing, but keep the core tight, keep the butt tight. You're gonna pull this apart, kind of pushing your hands this way, okay? And then you're gonna come back like this, okay? You're squeezing your shoulder blades together as you do this, keeping the core nice and tight. You're gonna do 15 to 20 reps of that. Now we're gonna do around the backs. You know, people call these everything different, but basically what you wanna do, grab shoulder width apart. You're gonna take it up and behind you. You're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades together really, really hard, and you're gonna touch your butt with it, and you're gonna come back around like this, okay? If this is bothering the front of your shoulder, then what I really want you to do is emphasize kind of pulling back and activating those back muscles, especially like right here, okay? Really squeeze the back. What a lot of people do, what bothers them and why this hurts their shoulders is because they'll let their humerus glide forward when they're in this position, okay? Right here, this is killing my shoulder, right? You want to pull back like that, have a good postural position, keep the abs tight as you do this though, okay? Around here, really focus on activating the upper back musculature while you do that. Squeeze the upper back when you're doing that. That you also want to do for about 15 to 20 repetitions right after the band pull aparts. Okay, so these are banded face pulls. I show these a lot on my channel, but it's because they're such a good exercise. Basically, get your band, tie it around something that's about the same height as your face, okay? You're gonna step back, keep the core tight. You don't want to be pushing the pelvis forward or anything. Keep the core tight, butt engaged, everything straight up. You're just gonna exhale, pull these in to about the same depth as your ears and the same level as your eyes, and then back out like this. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. We're externally rotating the humerus here, the arm bone, and we're activating the muscles that retract the scapula, the shoulder blades. Pull the shoulder blades back, okay? After doing this, you should feel a little bit more open than you were before you did it, okay? So for that, anywhere between 15 and 30 repetitions should be good. All right, so this is another one I show a lot, but it's so good that you also need to have this in your shoulder warm-up routine. So this is called wall press. You basically sit against the wall, keep your back, try to keep your back as flat and flush against the wall as possible. Bring your arms up here like this, okay? And the goal here is to keep your back in contact with the wall as well as with every other part of your arm. So your delts, your arm, your humerus, your arm bone here, your elbow, your forearm, your wrist. You want to try to keep all of those on the wall. This is way easier said than done. Keep the abs tight. You don't want to be overextending here, okay? But it looks like this. Big exhale. Tighten the abs as you go up. Inhale on the way back down. Okay? You're actively pinching your shoulder blades together when you do that. I just worked out chest today, so I'm very tight in here. It's hard to do that. But you want to try to keep your elbows against the wall a little bit better than I did. Depending on how tight you are, this will be, that will dictate how hard this is for you. So that's the whole sequence. You can go through this really fast. You might want to write these down. When I'm about to train and I go through this sequence, it takes me under 5 minutes to go through this whole thing, right? So I wanted to explain everything in detail to you, but when you do this in real time in the gym, especially if you're doing a normal warm-up in conjunction with this one, this shouldn't take you more than 3 to 4 minutes to complete. So it's pretty fast once you get the hang of it, and it's really effective. There you have it. at it, go through these 9 exercises anytime you feel like your shoulders need a little bit extra focus and attention during your warm-up. If you like this video, then hit this subscribe button or hit that subscribe button down below, the red one. Give the video a like and leave me a comment. You know, really, that's how you guys can support me the most on my channel here. If you like it, give the video a like. Lastly, if you want to learn more about your shoulders and how to bulletproof them even further by improving their joint alignment, then you need to get my shoulder bulletproofing workout, okay? This is something that I put together. It's a sequence of really good corrective exercises that will kind of take you a step further beyond this video to further improve the joint centration of your shoulders, which will help reduce your chance of injury. And lots of times it can remediate injuries that you have, like impingement syndrome. If your arm bone is all rolled forward and round and turned inwards, internally rotated, you know, that can cause, you know, symptoms, right? Specifically impingement syndrome, inflammation, some other things, okay? So if you're looking to bulletproof your shoulders and prevent injuries, then make sure you get that. You can get there by clicking this link right here. If this doesn't work, then click the link in the description down below. What that will do is it'll take you to a page on my website where I'll basically ask you for your email. As soon as you enter in your email, I'll send you the workout containing all the corrective exercises for your shoulders about 5 minutes later. And on one last concluding note, I put together a comprehensive neuromuscular warm-up sequence recently, okay? I called it Launch Sequence, and it's available on my website. So if you're looking for a more comprehensive but a more comprehensive full body warm-up that doesn't just involve your shoulders but activates your entire body, that you can do any time before you exercise in any way, whether you're doing legs or you're training your back or you're about to go running, then make sure you get that, or at least check it out on my website. If you open up the description down below, you'll see it listed down there somewhere under Launch Sequence. So make sure you check that out. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.